Okay, hello. Welcome back to a new video. I'm just continuing my study diary of price action, and I just realized that I had done a majority of my daily analysis on the March contract still for the daily. But I also haven't really been active on the Twitter that much this week besides on Monday morning. So as we're going to Thursday, I figure it's a great time to kind of backtest, go through the tweets, go through my back testing, and go through my price action study. So on the left side here, we're strictly going to start by analyzing what is going on, where we are in price, on that daily time frame. Okay, that's the daily time frame. So the very first thing here, instantly we can see here. You know what? Actually, okay, we're gonna mark from this high over here. The reason I'm marking this level here, let me fix this line. Okay, visibility, make sure everything's good. Hours, okay. So the first thing, this is the level of buy side liquidity, and the reason why I'm marking this as level of buy side is because we have this previous high that was actually taken out. So stop rate. And we know that anytime a significant move lower or higher is expected, we can expect some form or measure of a stop rate. So that's why I'm putting that mark there. This is something that I'm going to release some videos here in the next few days. I've already studied actually this price action or this kind of back and forth moving in here. But regardless, we had a lot of the same stuff, okay? I'm not going to necessarily go through the liberty of marking it as it is on my March chart. But we have this previous low taken out. Okay, and then after that, we trade back up, and then we have this low here, okay, or this, I guess would be this low, taken out with displacement lower, and retrading for taking us where we are. So ultimately, to understand kind of where we are right now, we have to understand what price is previously done, okay? So we have this level of liquidity right here. Okay, we have a short-term low being taken out. This is, crap. Okay, this is, sell side liquidity, and change that to red, bottom right. Okay, so sell side liquidity, and then we had that short-term low taken out. Okay, now what we also noticed here was that that displacement, this is a market structure shift. This was a change in market structure. The reason why is we have a short-term low taken out, and we have that fair value gap or that displacement or inefficient price delivery that has been retraded now. So I'm going to go ahead and get my rectangle. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. Two things here, okay. Okay. So the first thing, let's one of my developments or things I had to work on is I didn't necessarily, I know what a swing low and swing high was, but I was having trouble differentiating what a swing low or a swing high was. So here we have a swing low. I finally got it. Which is a swing lower, so you have a higher low to the left, a higher low, or sorry, you have a higher candle to the left and a higher candle to the right. So I guess I'm still not doing great on the definition, but I understand what a swing low actually looks like, and we have that right there. What we also have here is the idea that was created behind the price delivery, okay, which was that trade below a short-term low, which would have indicated, okay, now we want to start looking for that imbalance or inefficiency to be retraded. Now, what we would also have the expectation of in the mentorship, ICT talks about how we would actually expect it to go to this higher fair value gap up here, okay? But regardless of that, you know, price is fractal, as ICT talks about, and so we do see that obviously it trades a little above. We could expect it to go here. But what we ultimately see is that fair value gap retraded, and then we see that it continues going lower to where we are now. Okay, now what we also can recognize right here, being bada boom. Okay, we have this low that was created, sorry, right here. Okay, this low created, more sell side, just another low taken out. Okay. Boom. All right. So we have that stop rate again. Okay. And we do have a level of liquidity now above where price currently is. This is all in the daily time frame. So we're looking at what are the key levels, where is price likely to lead to next, okay? And when we're talking about that, or we're looking at these objectives, okay, we can, I just want everything to look like kind of the same on each time frame. And I don't know why this isn't even, but it's starting to drive me crazy. Okay, so anyways, what we have here, okay, we see that price is continuing to make lower lows. Okay, we have this fair value gap here, which for fair value gap entries, or when ICT talks about the entry techniques, he tells us to treat a fair value gap as if it is like a relative equal high. Funny enough though, below that fair value gap, we actually have these relative equal highs here. Okay, and so these short-term highs, okay, are a level of buy side liquidity. Okay. Now this isn't everything. Top right. Okay. I don't know why I put the liquidity part in there. Here, let me. All right. Buy side. Okay. Now, what we have, previous to this, okay, we have this low right here. Okay. We also have this low right here, which for now are going to be the two lows that I outline as sell side liquidity. Okay, boom. Bottom right, and make that red. Cool. Okay, so now let's look at the prior price leg using the fib. Okay, we're going to mark from here to here, and we're going to see where price is at currently on the daily time frame. So right now, sorry. Okay. So when we move from discount to premium, okay, this is pretty much an optimal trade entry. This is something where we're obviously, we're obviously in a discount. Okay, if we look at this price leg from the low to high, we can see that we're below the half point or the 50% mark, which is discount. So what we usually expect is price move discount, premium, discount, premium. Now what ICT actually called out, he called two different levels of sell side liquidity out on Monday, which I don't necessarily like. I understand how it works on the March contract. I don't necessarily on the June contract here understand how they correlate. So the reason I'm marking these two levels, and I'll go over that on the Twitter here in just a second. The reason I'm going over these two levels is just because these are the levels that make sense to me for where we would be expecting like a sell side objective. Okay, so ultimately right now I want to spectate what price is going to do, and the reason I say that, I'll make it more clear here in a minute when we go through analysis, but we've had these relative equal high territories that have been created all week. Okay, so Monday started the 13th. ICT says it is a good morning. Okay, this morning we could see an interesting trading session. Volatility is high, risk are high, and the potential for reward is high. Be extremely careful today. Period. We are in he just replied, we are in crash territory. So he replied to that, or make sure that was out there again. So here's what he says. Recall our summer discussions from 2022. None of this should surprise you. It's March when I told you to expect the things to begin to set in motion the solution to the issue, namely CBDC, to script so far. No panic, more coming. Okay. And so then this is when he said that he will need to focus on the charts, and then I got busy, or yeah, I didn't really follow him after that. Okay. Besides this tweet that he had, which was the levels. So the reason 3804 doesn't make sense to me is if I just we'll just do this real quick. Look. So look at this line that I'm marking out. Okay. 3804. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So this level really doesn't make any sense to me. I guess this low, it's like the mean threshold of that low, but it really just doesn't make a lot of sense to me as to why he's indicating that level. And then he's saying if it hits that level, then the 3788 level. That makes more sense to me personally when I was looking at the the March contracts. But he says this: "What an interesting day. It was fast, wild, heavily manipulated, and not for the faint of heart." Okay. Um, I managed to engage in the final hour of the New York session. Watch how many heat they put on me while managing this one. Another testimony to why trailing stops prematurely is not a good idea. Okay. In the markets that are extremely risky, I do not want to say anything that will inspire you guys to break the rules. All right, thank you, ICT, great mentor. This entire week is poised to be a train wreck for the inexperienced, which we'll see why. We're going to look at some news drivers as well, but the reason I retweeted this was because, yeah, that's very relevant. You should be tracking this. Okay, so my friend totally did send me this, and that's because I was looking at the volume. So majority of volume right now is in the June contract, which is why I'm looking at June and not March. Okay, Tuesday morning, he calls out, CPI here. That's the last tweet for the 13th, which was Monday. So before we get on into anything else, let's go ahead and let's start breaking down Monday. Okay, so we're gonna start here on the 1 hour here. And actually, let me do one thing just before we get into this. Okay, I want to make it clear. So where are we currently at? Even like where are we expecting the weekly candle to go next? Okay, we have this low right here, which is the 3822 level. Okay, that's right here. So personally, or what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing that this level of buy side liquidity from where the mouse is on the left has been taken on the weekly time frame. Okay, so we're continuing to see lower prices or lower highs. We see that this level of liquidity is taken, and now we see price directionally moving to the sell side. And so what I would like to see ultimately is by the end of the week that we get to this or these prior lows right here on the weekly time frame, being now that my bias is that we are expecting to see lower prices. Okay, so my bias is bearish, and that's the reason why. On the daily time frame, it's no different. We see the same thing. Okay, we have this previous high, we have this level of buy side liquidity taken, so still expecting it to move to that level of sell side liquidity. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and hop onto the hour time frame, and so this gray to this gray is Monday. Okay, just so you guys know, that's kind of how I mark the day. And so on the hourly, we just look at where are we in the grand scheme of things. Okay, and on Monday, we also didn't have any, news drivers or anything like that. But where are we in the grand scheme of things? Okay, where are we at in the grand scheme of things? So the very first thing, this black line here indicates the London session. Okay, 2 to 5. All right, I marked this high here, this London high, because we do not see that high that's created at the start of London. We do not see that revisited. Okay, in 5 a.m. right here. Okay, we have this low that was created, this 3884, which is revisited, and it's actually revisited at the start of the New York session. Okay, so boom, we have that level of sell side liquidity here that is taken. All right, and what we then see is a stop rate. Okay, and we see that before the New York session. Okay, and we see that below this low that was created on Friday. We see that trade below. So we have two levels of sell side liquidity being taken, meaning that we can look to these buy side objectives and just simply spectate. Okay, we can look at these prior highs to see what price wants to do, and how it's going to react now that we are in a discount. Okay, and so that's pretty much the thought so far is that we've taken out sell side. So let's just look for potential buy side objectives. Okay, and let's just kind of see what price does. And this is the morning that ICT was saying, I'm just gonna have to focus on the charts, like he's doing an independent study, I guess. But anyways, let's drop down to the 15-minute time frame where things become more clear. You can see I have that London high marked, I have that London low marked here. Okay, and pretty much that the London low, it actually gets retraded to at the, oh sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's today. Sorry. Okay, the London high, the London low. I got confused. Okay, sorry when I was switching time frames. But anyways, London high, to re-clarify, London high, London low, sell side liquidity taken. New York session is this black line, and then operating hours 8:30. What we see within the operating hours, the first thing we see a large down move. We see accumulation. Okay, and then this low even here is taken out at 9:30. So we have sell side liquidity taken again at 9:30. Now, obviously, with these levels of sell side liquidity being taken out, we can continue to follow, depending on what a bias is. What my idea was is that I'm going to be looking for price to retrade into a premium before we see it continue lower. And so just to view that, I had marked this high right here. Okay, this is a swing high, and I marked this high right here just to see will we see displacement above this level. Okay, so right at 9:45, after the 9:30 liquidity takes sell side again, 9:45 we have this large candle, this massive displacement. Okay, and it does create this new high right here, and we see that imbalance from here to here. We see that gets retraded. Now the reason this is marked a little lower here is just due to my lower time frame analysis. Simply, we were looking for just levels of liquidity on the 15-minute time frame. So we see this level of sell side liquidity taken. Now we have this level of buy side outlined here, and now I'm simply outlining the shift. Okay, and I'm just gonna go through the PM session as well. So after that, okay, into lunch, which is indicated right here, or this is the end of operating hours, okay, which is 11:30. We have these highs form right here, but these highs are actually buy side liquidity or a stop rate for anyone in the morning that went short. Okay, so they get stopped out right here. Okay, and so from there we just see price start trading into this fair value gap here. Okay, and then here we go, this green candle, 1:30 operating hours. We look again, we have this short-term low that was created here. We have a level of sell side liquidity. Okay, what we first see, we see first price creates this high. Okay, and then very shortly after, just take that level of buy side liquidity, and we are not just expecting, okay, buy side liquidity was taken, we have that stop rate, let's continue looking for price to trade higher, like we could spectate it. But again, my bias is bearish, so I'm not really expecting price to make this insane large move upwards. But anyways, we have this failing to actually take out that stop rate again. Okay, and then we have this low that was created, and we'll go through this more on a lower time frame, but these are the levels of liquidity that I had marked in the afternoon. Okay, so let's go now to 5 minute, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's when we start time frames. Sorry, that's when we start looking for those levels of liquidity. Okay, so very first thing here, operating hours. We're just going to start by looking at that now that we know the levels of liquidity that have been outlined. Okay, operating hours. We have this low created, we have this higher low, but ultimately what we're looking at is this. On the, I don't know if it's maybe like the lower time frames, but this is a swing high. You're gonna have to trust me on that. But I believe it's more clear on the lower time frames. Okay. Either way, what we notice here, we have this swing high, and then we have this massive displacement. So the reason I marked this, or the reason I'm looking at this originally, is just because we do have this high that was created here. We see massive displacement above it. Okay, we see an imbalance, that was retraded to, and then here would be my targets. Okay, this high that was created here could have been a target or a place to take partials, as well as this previous level of buy side liquidity. Now in the PM, okay, these levels become more clear. We have this level of sell side liquidity here. We have that stop rate. Price obviously rallies off, but this is outside of operating hours, okay? We did have this level of sell side liquidity marked as a target. Excellent. So here, same thing. Now, admittedly, now that I'm going back through this right here doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. As I would be moving from a premium to a discount, I should actually be looking for a trade below short-term low, right? That's ideally what I would be looking for, but maybe I'll have more clarity on that as we continue to the lower time frames. Either way, you can see pretty much the levels of liquidity that I was looking at, which will become more and more clear as we drop lower and lower. So we have 3 more time frames to go through here. Okay. All right. So, boom. Actually, here we go. So this is where it became more clear to me. Okay. So this is before 9:30 that this high is created. Okay. This high gets created. 9:30 liquidity takes out this, and so we have a stop rate. Okay. Boom. After that, significant move higher, a run above an old high, an old short-term high. Okay. Creates displacement, creates this imbalance here. Okay. Retrades it just barely. Would have been ideal if I had a limit order here, so I could have gotten placed into the trade. Okay. And if I had my limit order right there, then I could look to take partials right here at this high, or even at that level of buy side liquidity. Now, granted, I'm still working on developing myself and my studies, but these are just things that I was looking at in my back testing, okay? And so this ends the operating hours. Boom, we have this very just like back and forth price action all the way until 1:30 we start trading again. So 1:30, this back and forth price action was hard for me to read. This red area here, by the way, is a fair value gap, and we see that it's acting almost as resistance, if you will, because we see prices respecting that, or it's reacting off of the imbalance, not completely rebalancing anything, but trading into it and then continuing lower. Okay, so regardless, all right, we have the levels of liquidity from lunch. We had this low from lunch, okay, which is traded below, okay, and then I see here this high. Now, the reason that I realized one thing I had done with this is I actually realized the error before I even recorded this. The reason you don't even see a light bulb here is because it's not like, yes, this is a large candle here, but above that old high, we don't really like have massive displacement. Now, if I would have traded from the bodies, okay, we could have definitely used that fair value gap. Oh, fair value gaps are traded to buy side, but there's really not much left there to eat off of, because we saw at lunch that that level of buy side liquidity was already taken, as in we already traded to a premium. So now we're going to expect price to go into a discount. Okay, now what I marked here, okay, 242. We have these just very choppy price action. Okay, we have these highs here, like sure that level of liquidity is taken, but it's just very back and forth. We have these very like relative equal lows, and then we finally see price show what it wants to do. So I marked this low originally, like I'm following price. Okay, we have this low here, price trades below that low, we have this low created, and then what we have is that displacement lower, and we have this imbalance here. Okay, and so with that being said, okay, give me 1 second here. I guess the setup maybe like more refined, but this setup wasn't really even like that great to begin with as far as what I'm looking at. So regardless, I had this level marked here. This became the idea. This is an imbalance. It was retraded, but I'm gonna have to see why this was so relevant to me. Oh, okay, I understand why now. Hold on, sorry. I don't know why I don't have the thing here. Okay. So with this, I didn't really know how to treat this. With the wick. Okay, higher body to the left. But with the wick, I mean, if we consider the low of the wick, I'm not really sure here, right? So the low of the wick, if we consider that, then the candle to the left and right are lower, not necessarily the bodies. But even so, okay, even so, we'll make sure that it's as clear as can be. Give me 1 second here. Make sure this isn't viewed. Okay, it is viewed on the daily. Cool. Anyways, okay, we have this low here. Okay, swing low, higher body to the left and right. Okay, trades below it, creates the idea. Massive displacement or a fair value gap, retrades, continues lower. Okay, continues lower. And then the first thing, I don't know. Okay, it must be marked on the lower time frame because this line here that I have, there's like a target to it. So let's just go to the 2 minute because I don't want to keep like guessing around and like just making myself look stupid. Granted, I am learning, but I think I might have just like changed the visibility, or did I like really like just get it on the 1 minute? Hold on, I gotta check this because I gotta make sure. Yeah, I totally did. Okay, look, because now it's marked twice. So the setup that I was okay. Let me refrain. The setup. Okay, we have these relative equal lows here. Okay, we have these relative equal lows that were created, traded below. So we have that stop rate. We do have that move higher, and we have these relative equal highs. But what I was really focusing on is that, like, again, hey, we're looking for lower prices. So, you know, here would have been fine. What I had originally marked, okay, higher candle body to the left, higher candle body to the right. So this is actually a swing low. And what we see here is the idea that was created, which is that displacement. Okay, we have the imbalance here, the inefficient price delivery. Boom, trades into it. Thumbs up, that's the entry. Levels to take profits at, prior low. And then also I marked that this previous low as a target as well, as a level of sell side liquidity. Okay, and also here we go was something else I was looking at. Okay, so I had marked this originally and I was analyzing it, and the move was just unenergetic, and we just took buy side. Okay, so that's what I was explaining. How I already kind of knew I was wrong on that. Anyways, I'm kind of all over the place with this, but this is what I had seen, and these are the setups that I noticed when I was studying price. Excellent. So now we're gonna move on to the next day. Now the next day was Tuesday, March 14th, where we had CPI pretty much all day. So we're gonna start looking at ICT's tweets for the 14th. Every market right now is showing you what price actually looks like when you are 90% likely to lose if you try. Sit still. So now you're probably thinking, well, ICT is saying this. Or I'm probably thinking even, why would I still be looking at price action? Study. The next thing he tweets, study, okay? And so I guess he was referring to, what level is this? 3912. Let me see if I got it, because I didn't really look at the Twitter at all. But funny enough, okay, I don't have it marked to the T, but look at that. It's 3913. Or 3912 on the dot. Dude, I wasn't even, I swear to God, I didn't look at this Twitter before that. And he's saying study. I have studied that ICT. I guess I got it right. I'm excited about that. Okay. Now, as clean as 3912 is in ES, and despite seeing a potential PD array that could lend well to an entry to run above 3912, the environment is not conducive for a high probability price run, as I mentioned 2 tweets before this. So, bing bada boom. Wow. So note the ESM 1 minute 16 down close candle. I don't know what he's necessarily talking about there. Inside the volume imbalance I showed you initially right now. Yeah, I don't really know what he's talking about, to be honest. 3, 9, 10, then buy side. So he's calling out the levels that obviously in hindsight we have a lot more like we have the data that's already played out. I don't know what BISI stands for. 640, 647. Yeah, I don't really know what he's talking about there. Note the body. So I guess this is something where, you know, I would have had to. This is kind of like just show up every day. I wasn't here at the time, so now this really just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Know how my volume and balance off your price. You see how reluctant price is. Um, Nevertheless, screenshot your 1 minute. Label it order block. Run to buy side 320. So I guess he was just talking about that level of buy side liquidity being taken out, but I'm not necessarily sure. That randomness added again. Did your ES chart print above? Okay, here's where he was. So I think this is when we had that. Okay, so I guess this is essentially where he's at right now. Yeah, this high and this high. Go back through my tweets. You will see outline in real time, tweet by tweet, minute by minute to delivery. See what you did there. In case you missed it, and I mentioned this many times, if there's a high impact news event in the AM session that I will not be willing to participate in or trade, I will look for an early event before the AM session starts, avoiding the slaughterhouse. And he did say this. He said that he would look with like there's a high impact news driver in the morning. He would look for trades in 7:30 or like 7:30, like before the session. I have that actually marked in my notes. So for your further study, this is what he marked. Yeah, I don't know what does BISI stand for? What is that a abbreviation for? Or VI? I don't really know what that's bounds for, but shows SMT divergence between the NOS. Okay, the NOS creating lower lows and the S&P failing to do so. For further study. Okay, things done with random retail logic where 9% lose and somehow my algo. So he's just talking, you know, he's hyping himself up. Note, okay, let's see this. 3978. That's buy side liquidity. Did I get it? I don't think I did. Unless 397. Wait, what did he say? Hold on. No, 3978 as buy side liquidity. Okay. So why 3? I don't understand why 3978. Maybe he was still looking at June contracts, because the high I would see, or like the level of buy side liquidity as far as like in my understanding, 3972. And I mean, or is it just this? Is he talking about this high right here? No, that's 3971. Or this high, 3978. Okay, so I guess this is what he's talking about. Mark that as a level of buy side liquidity. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to do that here in a minute. I'm not gonna mark it right now. So you said mark that as buy side. I do not know which CPI will be used to engage, but those are where I am monitoring. Smile. Okay. Measure CE. See, I don't know what that means. Discount wick CE. I don't necessarily know what CE stands for. Again, one of those things that's gotta show up. I don't know NWOG yet. I mean, I know new week opening gap, but I haven't studied it. Delivered like a hammer. Okay. She's talking about the different levels. 25 handle. Screenshot that. 846. Don't want to see like when he's talking about new week opening gap. Oh, I guess the VI that he was talking about was volume imbalance. Volume imbalance. That makes sense. So here we go. Hey, the trader bagged and tagged. Talked about his entry. March 14th. You know, honestly, I'm just trying to get fun, isn't it? I'm just trying to get like through this right now. I don't really understand a lot of this. He's just talking about his entries, I guess. But yeah, you know, I didn't really show up. And he had this. I'm pretty sure he did this. Monsters Inc. Who's next? March 14th. If you were doing well with proof, I will interview you. Okay. Okay, and then so that's everything for the 14th. A lot of it was, or the reason I skimmed through is a lot of it is actually just him, you know, kind of talking about like how it went as he went through it. Anyways, this was nothing new, or it wasn't anything that was too unexpected in hindsight. So I'll kind of explain just like what I just said. Regardless, here we go back to London, indicated by this black line here. Okay, we have this low created. This low was created at 2:20 a.m. I marked that low as a level of sell side. It remains untouched. Oh, it remains untouched till later on. I marked this level of buy side because this was the high that was created. We see that movement that he was talking about. This was a high that he had called out. Okay, and then what we see here, it's very like this news driver in the morning. Okay, was just very like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not very back and forth. This is not like, even this wick alone here, I know, like, in hindsight or back testing this, that this isn't something I want to participate in. Like, this just really like volatile, like this candle alone right here is crazy. Like, this is on the 1 minute chart that I'm looking at this, because I have made the mistake of not going to the hourly already, but that's on a 1 minute chart. So you have to really think of like, what that candle looks like. Regardless, okay, here's Wednesday. Here's what it looks like on the, or sorry, Tuesday is what we're looking at. Here's what it looks like. I have the events marked right here. Okay, this is that morning move, that very just up, down, okay, retrades. We had like that imbalance here, and then kind of like consolidates off of the day. Go to the 15-minute. Marking the different levels of liquidity was a little like more hard. Okay, I paid attention to that previous high. You know what, we'll just do this now. Well, you know what, no, I'm gonna keep it where it is just because it makes sense to me. Look, this is what I was talking about with these relative equal highs. You just have these very relative highs. Okay, now here, this was the London high. It's buy side liquidity. This here, this black line, was the London lows. Okay, obviously there's nothing to partake in the AM session, so that's just not what I was focused on. I was actually more focused on the afternoon session. So we're just gonna go ahead and drop straight to the 5-minute. Then we can see the setup. So we had this very big move here. Now this is something that is kind of a stretch, and obviously we're looking for something specific. We're not looking to force anything. The only reason that I marked the low of this body here, and the only reason I did that was the candle for the news driver. So obviously, you know, we can see that this candle's insane even on the 1 minute. So as in terms of looking for objectives, I thought it was fitting to mark that level of liquidity there. If not, you know, I mean, that's pretty much the only objective I saw. And my focus right now is looking for these different market structure shifts and prioritizing that over and over. Regardless, though, okay, we have this low that is created here, and that's created when we start looking to trade. So that's at 130. Okay, we have this low that's created. It's traded below. Okay, and in this price leg, within this price leg, from this low to this high, okay, we are in a discount. You can see that very easily, that within this price leg, we are in a discount. So that's the reason I'm focusing on that, and then I'm looking for highs to be violated and retraded, because we moved into a discount. So I'm watching price continue lower, and then I'm just looking for that opportunity to be a contrarian, or even just looking for the setup as far as like, where is price headed and where is it likely to deliver to. So we had that insane movement, okay, to a premium. Now we're back in a discount, okay, and so that was kind of my idea behind that. I'm gonna go ahead and drop down now to the 3-minute. Boom. The reason I'm talking so fast, I just know I'm rambling, but the video is obviously going to be very long if I'm going through 3 different days of price action. Okay, so here we go. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Okay, sorry. I'm just gonna go 2 minutes. That's not the time frame where that was clear. It was either on the 2-minute or the 1. Okay, we'll go to the 1 too, but regardless, okay, let's keep this imbalance. In fact, we'll stretch it out here. Okay. Well, actually, for the sake of, I don't, just keep that imbalance in mind. Okay. Regardless, we have this swing high here, that high marked level of buy side. Okay. We have the idea, which is even more refined with it trading right here. Okay. Trades down to this imbalance and continues higher. And then the target right here would have been the previous high. Now, obviously, with each of these candles spanning 2 minutes, this is the only thing I was able to find within the day for a potential setup. Not saying I would have taken this, not saying that I would have engaged in the setup, just because, like, even placing a limit order here, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't really have the energetic move upwards necessarily before it retraded to that imbalance. So this is really just kind of stretching at things, but yeah, that's pretty much all I was like really able to find that made a little sense to me. This is during, you know, CPI, obviously. What he said, you know, like to the unexperienced or the untrained eye, it's gonna be a little more hard. So now let's go through the day. Good morning. Today we have a few high impact news driver in about 2 hours. Expect volatility. Live streaming later. Missed the live stream. That's not funny. Just open my charts. Spoos down 90 handles in a free fall fast market. Banks, the narrative is to create fear. Problem, reaction, solution. You know the drill. Getting ready for 8:30. I guess he was going to stream. Okay. We know when to expect consolidations. You can decide how to trade or not trade them. The choice is always yours. Toodles. Censorship. Okay. Stocking. Where's ES? Where's the low? 1 minute candle. 12:55. So here we go. Let me just hop into the 1 hour. Okay. There we go. Hopping into the 1 hour. Now we can finally look at this day. Hasn't even finished yet. It's 10:36. It looks like it's thundering outside. Anyways, okay, we have CPI. So here's pretty much how I have everything marked now. Let's see. He was talking about. So what is a low of 12:55? 1 minute candle. 12:55. 12:55. Oh, look at that. I had it marked. Wait, did I? Yeah, I mean, I did have that marked as a stop rate right there. So, I mean, I think that's what he's talking about. What's the low? It's probably random. Let's see. Let's see how we had it marked. Okay, low. Is that? Where's the 12:55 low? Yep, literally. Look, sell. It's so awesome to see it. Sell side liquidity, and then you see smart money short. So look, the level I marked here. That feels so great to see that. Look, that's the level right there. Okay, right there. He said he sees the same thing. So let's see. Oh, okay. That's, I guess, after the fact. So he has this here. This fair value gap he marked right here. And what does he say? He says that's a smart money short. So that's awesome. Very rewarding to actually see it happen. These are some retweets. Hindsight to take amazing. Where's buy side? What did I say before? I want to see precision low. Where's that low taken out? That's liquidity. Price move. How does it feel when we outline? You know, it feels fucking fantastic. My work here today is done. Toodles. And here we go. We have, okay. Then we have retweeting. So this was fantastic. This day was a good day, even with the event. And I'm just really excited to kind of highlight through it. So the very first thing, okay, the 1 hour. Look at the day. Boom. Okay. 1 hour. So we have these very, like, these relative equal highs. These level of buy side. This level of buy side liquidity. And granted, today is not over. Okay. But we've had this level of buy side liquidity that through the entire week, those highs have failed to be violated. But what we see right now is we've seen that movement lower, okay, below the previous day's low, like below yesterday's low, that was created in the PM, not the entire yesterday's low. Well, actually, yeah, even below that. Look at that. Okay, so we have price trading below yesterday's low, so we have a stop rate. Okay, well, we can look at it here. That's a rate on stops. So that level of liquidity gets taken, and now we see it trading back to the fair value gap or to that imbalance. We'll see what price does. We'll see tomorrow or whenever I upload again. We'll see, you know, does price continue to respect these highs, right? Do we continue seeing price create these relative equal highs? These are the news drivers that I saw for today that are outlined right here. and all of these news drivers. Okay, 8:30 news drivers as well. So let's go to the 15-minute. I'll talk about the levels of liquidity I marked, and then we'll close off the video, because obviously it's very long. So the very first thing, we had this London high, this London low. Okay, we had this fair value gap here, which was I marked this from a higher time frame, but we had this fair value gap, London high, London low. Both levels remain untouched until now, where we're finally seeing it trade above the London low that was created. Okay, so I marked those levels, and what we see here, okay, before 8:30 at this 7:30, okay, we see this low traded below. Okay, so we see that stop rate. Okay, it creates this high, but this happens right at 8:30. So 8:30, we have this news driver. It injects this level of volatility, creates this high. Okay, then it goes lower. Okay, now it fails to take out this low again, but it does create this level right here, which is the one that he had actually marked on his charts, which is this 3875 level. Let me just make that normal line. Okay. Now I'm going to, this is another stop rate, okay, right here, because it's below this short-term low. So we have that liquidity taken again. Then we see this displacement into the fair value gap. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do, let's wrap to the 5 minutes where things become more clear. Oh yeah, and we'll just do some more time. So as far as when we're looking at levels of liquidity, okay, I have this we have this level of sell side liquidity that was marked, and that liquidity is taken. Now I'm just kind of following price, creating these lower lows, and then we have these levels of buy side liquidity, which aren't necessarily marked, but we'll, you know, I can just go ahead and mark them here on the 15-minute. Okay, look, why is it doing that? Just trying to, okay. For that level of buy side liquidity taken, okay, retrade to this imbalance. Okay, this right now is in a discount. This is below equilibrium. We are going to expect price to trade into a premium. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. As far as like with what I am personally believing or where price is going next. So I don't think there was any reason to mark that level of buy side liquidity. I have it all on the lower time frame. So spectating price here in the morning because of those news drivers. This low created, trades below, stop rate, mark that. 8:30, okay, that's marked by this green line here. 8:30, okay, watching. We have that massive displacement lower. Then we have that volatility higher, which takes out this short-term high, takes out that buy side liquidity. Okay, so after that, what we watch in price is we see price do this very volatile run. Like, granted, each of these candles only 5 minutes, very just moving straight lower. Creates this low before lunch. This is outside of our operating hours now. We have this high back here, this level buy side as a target. We have this level buy side as a target. And granted, now we are currently in a discount. So we are just looking to see what price wants to do, seeing if it wants to move into a premium. Maybe it wants to keep going lower. It doesn't matter. We're not choosing highs or lows. That's why I keep saying that, because it's very important to myself that I understand that. So regardless, we have this swing high, lower low to the left, lower low to the right. Okay, we have this. We do have that displacement move higher with the imbalance created. Okay, we have displacement above that. The reason I say this is displacement is, while I do have this high mark here, it makes more sense on these lower time frames. I'll show you. But trust me, this is a displacement move. We have that imbalance here. Okay, it's retraded, and then what we would be expecting is for it to, we could take partials here, and you know, we could even, like, if we were, if I really wanted to have a small position, I could even wait for it to reach into the fair value gap, as you know, for fair value gaps also act as support and resistance, which we know, or maybe you don't know, but I know. So anyways, let's go to the 3 minute. This is just so great. All right, so anyways, yeah, here we go. That's that displacement move. Okay, we have that swing high here. This creates the idea, and that move, that energetic move higher right here, which each candle sets 3, 6. Okay, for it to get up here, literally takes like, say, 10 10-15 minutes, okay? Gets up here, then retrades to the imbalance, okay? My stop loss would obviously be like right here, okay? Just kidding. No, to be honest, yeah, if I would have had my stop loss exactly here, this wick would have probably stopped me out. I'm just gonna be honest. I want to be optimistic and say I wouldn't, but I guess, you know, expecting one of the things he talked about, there's a fair value gap here, so I guess I should have had the expectation of putting my stop loss here, knowing that I could trade to that potential lower imbalance, okay? And then obviously if it trades below this, I wouldn't want it to. But with my idea when I created this, yeah, I definitely would have gotten stopped out. So anyways, we have a trade up, trade to the fair value gap, boom, entry idea. Okay, if we entered there, okay, levels of liquidity we would like to see it go to, or next key levels where we're wanting to see price go to, level of buy side here, level of buy side here, boom, trades even above it, okay, retrades to these levels. But I mean, I would have been happy taking profits here. Okay, retrades those. Now we're getting close to the close, which because I changed my timers, it's actually like 5:30. Okay. Yeah, 5:30. But I don't really know too. Another thing I want to mention, I don't know what's going on with these. So I have it marked as this candle. It's not even. Yeah, sorry. Wait, 457. Let's just go to the 1 minute because it's pissing me off. Okay. What time is it? 457, 458. So look, goes 459, 6. So right now I'm just marking that, but I mean I see all the levels of liquidity. Like I see a lot of the movement ends there, so I'm just marking as 430. I don't know if that's necessarily right or if I'm doing something wrong there. Maybe I should reach out to my boy Tully and see. But here we go. Here's what I saw in the day. Okay. Yes, we did have that news driver. Yes, I did mark this as an idea as well, which I didn't go over this actually. But now that we're on the 1 minute, it's more clear. This high, taken out, displacement, imbalance, retraded. Okay, continues to take out this level of buy side liquidity. This could have been a target. That would have been a contrarian trade, as like I mentioned, that goes against my bias. I'm actually expecting lower prices. And plus, with the news driver, I don't necessarily think I'd be, you know, looking for that. But same thing here, you know, what he, of course, is saying. I know I have these entries. I probably would have taken these, to be honest. And that's just because I was honestly really confident with these levels. That's why I was excited to talk about it. I forgot what was it that he was saying. Like, he pretty much is just saying, oh, yeah, you can decide how you trade or not trade them. This is obviously a consolidation. Okay, we have these levels of liquidity taken, but it mainly stays within the range. Okay, like the ideas that I'm talking about come from, we're in the range, we have external range liquidity taken, and boom, then we get our fucking entry in. All right, but look, I feel like the more I talk, the less. I studied this for multiple hours since I got home, and now I've sat here for a very long time explaining it. So it's good note to self. Maybe studying 3 days of price action last minute and then recording a long ass video probably isn't the best thing, but look, it's the fucking journey that counts, man. I'm excited to be doing this shit. And yeah, you know, I want to close this off by saying today I wanted to fucking lay in bed all day. I didn't want to go to the fucking gym. I didn't want to fucking do any of this shit. I didn't want to record this fucking video. I didn't want to study these levels of fucking price action. I literally didn't. I wanted to keep being a bum all week. I didn't study shit until now. Okay, I didn't fucking backtest. And you know how that makes me feel? That makes me feel so fucking shitty. Why am I not taking my future seriously? And I told myself, today's Wednesday. It's only been 2 days, and including today's price action. If I say today's price action in the last 2 days, it's not too late. It's never too late. It's not too late to take action and pursue your fucking dreams, Max. It's not too late. It's not too late. And I fucking hit legs. I fucking got up. I didn't order any food. Okay? I fucking got my ass up. I went to the gym. I came home. I studied the shit. Then I fucking record this video. I backtest. Because I'm a fucking winner. Okay? I'm so fucking sick of living a mediocre life, and I'm so fucking sick of working for a job, and I'm just sick of it overall. I fucking love myself, and you know, God gave me this fucking strength. I asked God for strength. He gave me this fucking strength. Yeah, I'm overjoyous, but I guess I'm just gonna close this off. Bye now.